everybody. So we're a little bit early today. We're going with the flow. To me, every day seems like Monday. To Alan, every day feels like Friday. So we're just cramming things in here. And I know that for those of you who aren't here and making it, you'll be able to catch this on the replay. So Alan Odette, actually, I've known you for quite a few years. I worked international beauty services, and I know that you've been involved in our industry for like ever. And I was really excited to catch you in one of the groups that we were in because I'm always getting asked questions about software and marketing. And I know that as I start looking and learning a little bit more about what I'm doing, I know that most salons, I get asked software questions all the time. And it just a
Yeah.
lot of people, I think, are using their tools for booking. And that's about it. And there's just a couple of things about Phorest that you do that a lot of these other platforms don't do. And so that has me really excited. So tell me a little bit about what you got going there, what it's about, why you're different, and what you're doing, man.
Well, software is somewhat new and not that new for me. I mean, it's new that I'm the general manager of Phorest Salon Software here in Canada. So this is new. It's been 7 months. But before that, I've spent, actually, interestingly, yesterday was the 18th anniversary of me starting my consulting business. So like what you're doing right now, I started that 18 years ago when I left L'Oreal in order to become a dad. And I started my consulting business. And one thing that was very important to me as a consultant for the salon and spa industry was my background was coming from retail. I mean, even though just before that I had launched Kerastase, I worked 3.5 years at Kerastase in Canada, and Kerastase is a retail brand. So if you want to be a good retailer to start with, you need to go know your numbers. So retail starts with inventory management, and inventory management starts with the software. So it's just like this is the beginning where what I knew very, very well. What I had to learn was the appointments and really the technicality for a salon, a spa, how to manage appointments, which is like a lot of people think they can actually run a software because it's just booking appointments, and they forget that we have clients in the hair industry. We have clients who disappear. They come in, you do the color application, and for the processing time, the 45 minutes to an hour and a half or whatever time it takes for the processing, that client disappears from the books, but it's still sitting in the salon. Mm-hmm. So still occupying a chair, but is actually hollow in the book, unless you are just like blocking your periods. Some hairdressers do that. They block the whole time with their clients, but most of the people, they actually take the opportunity to do a haircut, to do another color application. They could actually book color applications one after the other, and the client just appears into another column for a hairdresser or a hair cutter, and then after that will appear somewhere else for someone who's going to do the blow dry, and in the meantime may appear somewhere for some nail services and maybe some eyebrows coloring or stuff like that. So there's like so many places that the client could be, but still can be nowhere. So an appointment software, just a basic appointment software that knows how to book you for your car service, they cannot do that. Because they don't know how to do that properly. And then you add the other complexity of putting in an equipment in a specific room. So if you have, for example, a laser or something like that, well, you cannot put it in a room that has a shower, for example, or actually a wet room, because there's electricity or the noise of a laser machine. So you have to be careful that it's not right next door to a massage room. And then you have capacity. Some people who are certified to use some machines, some people that are not. Some people who are, like we see in the hair industry, we have people on level systems that charge different prices and takes different amount of time to do the exact same service. So you have a junior stylist who would take an hour for a haircut, where you have a super senior stylist who will take half an hour for the same haircut. But the 1 hour haircut would be $39, but the 30-minute haircut would be $129. So all these complexities that people running just simplistic software actually don't take in consideration. So Phorest was born on the salon floor. So this was actually where we come from. So this is the reason why I was very interested in Phorest, is because it's a software that was first and foremost created to solve some problems in a salon and spa actually. And this is the first problem that this software solved. And we're talking 17 years ago now. So the first problem that this software solved was the no-shows. So how to do proper confirmation. appointment confirmation, and that was the initiation of texting customers to actually remind them of their appointment and freeing up the receptionist from making all those calls and up just talking to machines. Because of course, if you just make phone calls to do your confirmation, chances are you're leaving a message somewhere, and especially if 17 years ago, most likely you would call somebody at home and would not come home before 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, listen to the message for next day appointment and was not available and would just be a no-show. So it became kind of like a necessity to be able to do those reconfirmation properly. So now most software have one way or the other to actually do multiple ways of doing confirmation. So phone confirmations, email confirmation, text confirmation, two-way text confirmation. So you know that you're not just sending a message saying, are you coming? But you're getting a message back saying yes, or a message back saying no. And that message back saying no triggers automatically another message saying, do you want to book another time? So you don't end up with just a hole into your calendar. It actually asks the client and will send the client to the proper place in order to do the online booking. That's if you're doing online booking. And my number one piece of advice to anyone who's listening, if you're not doing online booking, give it up. It's time to do online booking.
We've really been pushed into data, like, or into digital. I mean, it's.
Well, we know for a fact, okay, that for salons who have online booking, up to 50% of the appointments are booked, not only that are booked online, because some salons is like 75% of their appointments that are booked online, but whatever is booked online, more than 50% is booked after 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So people book their appointments after they've done dinner, they've done, they're sitting in front of TV, they're watching whatever it is, and then they go like, oh, I need a haircut. So during the commercials or during the whatever they're bored with the TV show they're watching or anything, this is when they start booking whatever they need in terms of services. So, and the other thing that people don't realize is the best way to acquire client data is through online booking, because they have no choice but give you an email and a cell phone number. So automatically you get both information, which is, nowadays it's easier to get the email at the front desk, but it's still not easy because there's a lot of spelling mistakes, because you ask the client, what is your email? And then they go with whatever their names is, and people are creative in the way they write their names, even traditional names that people are very creative. There's a Y and a Z and an H too many or whatever it is, know? So there's spelling mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
That email is invalid right away. I mean, the first time you send an email blast and that person isn't there, it just bounces, and then you have to be actually chasing after that person to get the right email and correct it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you want to make sure to get the cell phone number. And one trick there is, don't ask the person what's your phone number. Ask the person what's your cell phone number.
Mm-hmm.
Be very specific what you're asking for.
Yeah. It's like asking for their best email, because everyone's got 25 and we've got 24 of them and we never check.
Exactly.
So you want to.
And so you cannot do a lot of marketing until you have your data actually cleaned up. Mm-hmm. It's just too many salons out there don't have the emails of their clients because they don't do online booking, or because they don't ask for the email, or they don't ask for the best email, or they have too many emails, and it's time to verify, is that email still valid?
Mm-hmm. You hit on a couple of things, though, that I'm hearing a lot, just even on the ground, is, you hear about boundaries and they're like, oh, my client is texting me. It's like in the evening. And when you were saying, like, most people do these things in the evening, they're sitting around, they want to book their appointments, they want to buy their things, they're checking out things and going to Google, and they're doing all of this in the evening. And so I think that if I have to wait until tomorrow, well, I've got too many things already on tomorrow's to-do list that, you might just kind of get lost in that.
So you don't want the client to text you. So there's two ways. I mean, with us at Phorest, for example, every salon has the option to actually add on their own app. So it's actually a branded app. It's your name, it's your logo that appears on a client's cell phone or tablet. And from that app, they can book an appointment directly. And they see the previous appointments that they had, the previous purchases that they've made. And so they're able to rebook the exact same appointment. So they know this is my regrowth appointment versus this is my highlight appointment, or versus this is just my haircut appointment, or this is just my blow dry appointment, or whatever it is. So they can rebook the exact same thing with their same person.
Yeah. And you know what? It's so important right now. Like we talk a lot about personalization. And I was just talking to LJ and we talked about how people want what they want when they want it right now,
Yeah.
as far as consume. And if I can't get it from the salon I'm getting it from, we're losing more clients based on disorganization than we are on screwing up their last haircut. Do you know, like, because I want what I want when I want it. And so if I can't get a hold of you, or if I miss, and we hear a ton about missed appointments right now, because there's a lot of people who are working from home. Look at you and I today. It's like Monday is Monday every day of the week for some
Yeah.
people, and every day is Saturday. And so if I get confirmations all the time, and it is actually my new expectation. So if I miss something, it's like, well, you didn't remind me. You know, it's almost like on you now,
Yeah.
right? Which is totally different. And so
Exactly.
they're
And the
getting
reminder, I mean, our system, our two-way texting system, is the reminder. It's not a staff texting from their cell phone. It's
Mhm.
actually the salon texting
Yeah.
from the salon number. So the text coming back is actually coming back to the salon as well. So
Yeah.
the employee has access to it on their
Yeah.
phone, on their Phorest Go app. So they can see what's happening in there, but it's not coming from their own cell phone. So
You
there's no
know,
sharing of that information.
yeah. And you know why I'm really was passionate about that, and really what set you apart from all the others when I started looking and trying to answer these questions for the clients that I have, is the way that it is driven through the salon. Because we do see a lot of independence breaking off and whatnot, and you don't want to lose that data just because your stylist has decided that she's going to go, open her own place. You don't want to lose that. When you've got their emails, which I think is so important and so un not given the weight that I believe it deserves, because it is still the number one way consumers want to be,
Yeah.
contacted, because we can deal with that. It's not intrusive, like somebody messaging me or sending me a text to them. I don't always know that. But I like that the salon still has access to all of that data. And yet the stylist can still, have that.
And with us, your data is yours.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't communicate to your clients. We don't own your data. At the end, you want to leave us, we're going to give you back your data. It's yours, and we're not going to be keeping it. We're not a marketplace, because there's
Mhm.
actually software out there that are a marketplace. So where you don't own the data, they own with you the data. So you leave, they will give you a copy, but they still own the data, because they've been marketing to your clients before they were your clients, and now
Mhm.
after they're your clients, they're still going to be marketing to them to get them other services potentially, or to with other type of verticals, like other type of services altogether. Or also they would have people promoting identical service than yours on that marketplace.
Mhm.
And when people go to that marketplace first, and I'm not going to name brands because I don't want to go there, but when they go to that marketplace first, then before they find you, they will see like featured salons, featured businesses, or promotional offers and everything. So they will actually be pushed towards maybe another company, another individual, hairdresser, stylist, whatever it is, before they actually make it to you. So I think, there's a reason for some people to actually start with a marketplace. Maybe it's because they're really building their business from scratch. They don't have any client base, and this is something that they think it's really good for their business. But I
Mhm.
think if you are an established person that is growing, but has an established client base, there's no reason for you to actually give away that data, because these 250 clients that you have, you spend 5, 10, 15 years to actually build that
Mhm.
clientele. It's
Mhm.
yours. You should not be letting anyone access to that.
Mhm. And you had said something earlier in our conversation about being made by a salon. Because quite frankly, if I'm just a hairdresser, a stylist, or a salon owner, and I'm listening to the first 5 minutes of conversations, and you're talking machines in this room and lashes, and this is the thing. People allow themselves to really think it's just like not doable, or I have to learn a whole bunch of more stuff, or that made absolutely no sense to me. And they get a little bit freaked out. So they, grab their appointment book and, they go with what they know.
Yeah.
And so I think that because you're coming at it from our industry into our industry too, where it's not like this has now been adapted for the salon industry, to actually come from there. How is that going to be for like Joe on the street, who's just been doing nothing but, booking on Rosie or whatever? Is this going to be hard?
Now, if you've worked previously on another software, Okay, it's similar to switching color line or changing from an American car to a German car. Okay, so the flashers are not on the same side. The all the dials and everything are a different place. So you have to get used. It's going to take you a couple of weeks, couple of months to get used to the fact that the things that you're looking for are not at the same place and may not look exactly the same, but everything will be there and more. Okay, so that's for sure. If you've never worked with a software before, then at least you don't have to undo any habits of working with something. So if you're going from books or any like paper appointments or just like a appointment on your phone, just with your calendar on your phone, if you're going from there, then your number one step is going to be taking your appointments. Then your second one is going to be to start billing your clients. And then your third one is going to be putting in your inventory and then start managing it and managing your orders. And then if you have employees, commissions, and then salaries, and then all of that. So, but you'll take it in stride. You're not going to turn every single thing all at once. And as you are building this and you're putting in every single client one by one into your database, you are creating, as you're taking an appointment, you're creating a new client card. And in there, you're putting the phone number, the email address, and the basic information of that client. And then after a couple of months, when you have the history in there, then you start asking people to leave you reviews. So you actually turn on the review management. So you get people to actually, they receive after a service, they receive a text message or an email asking them to leave you a review, and then you can manage that review. So if it's not a 4 or a 5 star, you want to deal with it. If it's 4 or 5 star, then it will prompt automatically the person to and ask them to actually leave that review either on Google or on Facebook. That's like when you actually start having advocates for you, and this is helping you build your business. Then the next step is you want to make sure that you trigger the client reactivation. So anytime that a client is falling off their regular schedule, the system will know, and the system will send you an email telling them, okay, you're falling off your regular schedule. You would be due for your regrowth. Okay, because they come back for your regrowth every 45 days, for example, and now they don't have an appointment. They're beyond the 45 days, and they don't have an appointment in the system. The system will actually trigger something, and then after that, then you start marketing to your client. So this is really in stages. You don't try to do everything all at once.
Yeah. And when you're talking about all this automation, okay, so when I decided I was going to be a digital marketer, okay, a year ago, I'm like, no problem, right? Until you start seeing how important systems are, that you need things to be working on their own and working for you without you having to constantly be managing data, because there's just too much of it in the first place. And then you start looking at things like how important there's more weight being put on things like your review. I don't go anywhere if there's not a 5-star review on Google. That's the first thing we do is we go, okay, I'm checking out this business, and that's where I go. And so if you're not in those first 3, why not? Like, you kind of go there. So I think that when you're talking to somebody who's maybe not using all of these aspects, it is sort of a journey for sure. But I don't think it's as complicated, like, again, as it necessarily sounds, because we do have a lot of people that are just, and they do need to make that shift into.
Yes. And, with us, for example, and I'm sure this is the same for some other companies out there, but with us, we have what we call the Phorest Academy. So you sign up with us, every single steps of your system, there's a video that explains it. Short, bite-sized videos. So the whole Phorest Academy, let's say you want to train yourself as a salon owner. So there's a path called salon owner or salon manager. And it will take you through everything that you need to know. And it's one little path, one little thing at a time. So first, creating your schedule, the opening schedule. So it will take you through this, and it gives you a little quiz at the end, and then it tells you that you've succeeded that section, and then it takes you to the next section. Exactly. It gives a little celebration, little fireworks, and whatever it is. And then you can stop at any time, and then when you go back, the system knows where you were, and then you just go back. If you're not sure on your system, there's a little question mark. You click on the question mark, and then there's a bit of intelligence in there. You start typing whatever you're looking for, and it will direct you towards the Phorest Academy portion where you can do your self-education as well. If for whatever reason there's a problem with the software, this is when something happens. Something is not working properly, something is not connecting. Sometimes your Wi-Fi is down for 10 minutes, and if it just because of that, it just jams the system. So you think, okay, this is not something I can resolve on my own. I click on a few things and I cannot find my resolution. Then you call the support service. And support will actually do, like at a hospital, will do a triage and will decide how much of an emergency you're in. And with that, we'll determine, do you need an immediate phone call? Do you need a phone call to be returned? Or you need help over an email? Or will we just send you the link to the proper video in order for you to repair it yourself or find your solution yourself? So this is kind of the support that we have, and we don't let go until we know you have a resolution of what you have. And if we have multiple level of support as well, level 1, 2, and 3. When it gets to level 3, it's because something actually happened in the system. And sometimes it's an upgrade of one thing you have on your laptop or your computer. It's an upgrade that just kind of like triggered something different. So it needs a little bit more research to find out, what happened. So we have that. And our level 3 system is based in the US and based in the UK. So we resolve issues like 18 hours a day.
Well, yeah. Well, when you think about, when I think about all the things that you've covered, even that the software will do, it's really easy for a lot of salon owners right now to get sort of trapped up and overwhelmed because they know that they have to do these things, but they do not have the time to do it. And so I think that as a time saving, like I'm very resistant to technology. Okay. I've come from this industry, hairdresser, owner. I just want to cut hair, make the world beautiful. Very resistant. My boss tried to take away paper files on me one time. I just freaked out. Yeah. What I find out is the more that I kind of learn these little pieces and bits, I see how much time it has given me back. And so when owners, I'm like, so what is your retail to service ratio? They have to, I'm used to doing everything by hand. So I just get out there with the numbers and divide it. Somebody showed, I still don't know how to use Excel. I'm ashamed. But they're doing it all by hand because they know what it is that they need to know. And just looking at what this will do, they're so excited. The ones that do have embraced some of these tools to just be able to push a button. Like I go, what's your best selling SKU? Oh, let me look. Bob's your uncle. Do you know, like,
yeah. And then you can create that best selling SKU as a never out product. So the moment that you're actually starting to run low based on your mins and max that you've established, the system will give you right away a notification. Not going to wait until you ask what is it the right time to order the product. It will just pop up. The receptionist or whoever is doing that transaction, you just sold the one that brings you below the threshold. There's a pop-up right away. This is a hot item. Do you need to reorder?
And what a great way to just like find out what is and what isn't working in your salon without you having to kind of really rethink and go through things. I mean, just such a tremendous time saver, I think, for people as they start to sort of embrace it, see who is moving and who is doing things and who is rebooking and watch. I mean, just to be able to do that while you're watching like, Dexter on TV. Do you know, because that's what we do is we do all these things after 8:00 in the evening to be able to not have to come home to manage your business and just think, oh, I got a whole evening. I got to figure all this stuff out, to just kind of watch your show and do it.
And it's on your phone. Actually, there's the employees and the boss have a Phorest Go app, and you can manage on your phone, on a tablet, anywhere you are in the world. As long as you have Wi-Fi, you have access to your salon.
Yeah, that's crazy good. Listen, you got to go here in a few minutes. So I just want you to tell us a little bit about what kind of support, how they get a hold of you, what happens right now? Like, what do you do? Like,
what happens? Well, it's very simple.
Or do you have a special run?
We don't have a special going on besides the fact that we've been running a special for quite a while right now. Yeah. So our special right now and until the end of the year is actually no installation fee, no startup fee, no deposits or anything. So you just get started. So that's a very easy one. There's 3 different packages. It starts at $99 for what we call the Grow package. And then we have 2 other packages and a few add-ons, depending on, again, you can customize it to based on, where you are in your business right now and where you want to grow. So depending on people.
$99, just to get to point that out, that $99 just by efficient booking, you'd make that back easily, like in the first 3 days you used it. Just saying.
Well, you pay more just to get Wi-Fi in your salon.
Yeah. There you go. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just think that, if people put things in proportion, like, and
Yeah.
to
Or
get
you
that.
can divide that in how many coffee at Starbucks. I mean,
Oh, right.
$99 a month, and over 20
It's
some
just
days,
giving you
it's
that
less than a
time
Starbucks
back,
coffee.
the time that it gives you back. Okay, carry on.
Yeah. So, and then what you need to do is very simple. It's phorest.com/CA. So Phorest is with a
Mhm.
PH. So PHOREST.com/CA. If you forget the CA, don't worry. The system is actually geo-targeting. It's going to know you're in Canada, and it's going to trigger right away from the right thing. So just go in there, pop through it, and at some point you'll be asked to actually sign up for a demo. Okay,
Mhm.
sign up for the demo. This is where
Mhm.
you can ask your questions. Okay,
Mhm.
and it's actually no obligations, no nothing. It's free, of
Mhm.
course. So they will schedule a time with you, and they can customize a presentation. If you need a second demo for your accountant, for your partner, for business partner or life partner, somebody else that you want to have an
Mhm.
opinion, they'll be very happy to answer most questions a second time and all of that. So, and that's really worth taking the time looking into it.
Mhm.
People think, oh, now I'm heading into my busiest time of the year. I'm going to wait till January. Well, maybe it's not, it's the right time now to look into that
Mhm.
because it's a process. Okay.
Mhm.
And what you want to do, because right now you're probably about still 3 weeks, almost a whole month before we're going to have a Christmas, it seems, this year. So, we may have a blitz, a rush, before
Mhm.
Christmas, but we're still not there yet. So you have a window now to start doing your setup. And what's interesting is like once you have the system kind of set up, even though you're not operating the system afterwards in terms of doing your transactions in it, but during the rush, you can start doing your post holiday appointments. So starting your year with the appointment book. So
Mhm.
anyone who's leaving for the next appointment, instead of writing it down into your book or writing it down onto your phone or into your old system, you're going into the new system. You're creating the client card properly. You just put the basics, the name, the cell phone number, the email address, and then you book the next appointment or you book the next series of appointment in there. So you start the year fresh. I
Does it
think that's a good opportunity there.
Does it separate your data for you, like for customization and personalization and getting the right, like, can you like access things like anybody who gets highlights, or like, does it do like data sorting, like anybody, like, can you
Yes,
categorize your clients?
it's all in. It's a computer system. It's garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
Okay, so you
It's
have to
all
be
in with
careful
you.
as well. Yeah, you have to be careful how you create your categories, you create your services, that you're
Yeah.
consistent and you make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, because you're going to create your service categories, and then after that you're going to create your services. So if you do your create your categories properly, so
Yeah.
let's say color, you in
Yeah.
your color, so you wanted people who have colors, and then you have your people who have highlights, lowlights, and
Right.
then root color or regrowth color. So then this is a service, you can actually call for that service, and then you're able to actually say, well, I just want to target to these people when I'm doing a campaign
Yeah.
because I'm promoting this blue shampoo or this
Yeah.
purple shampoo.
Yeah, I think that that's really cool because when I get stuff that's directly marketed to me, I'm in. And I think that the ability to actually be able to do that, it's these little tweaks, these little things that can really build your business.
And one last thing I want to put in there before I have to go. For example, if you're preparing an email blast that you're sending out, the system will tell you as well, okay, this email will be going to 300 people. But if you want to send it as a text message as well, you have 400 more people that you only have a cell phone, you don't have an email for. You want to send it to both.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can decide I want to send just an email because this is more of a broad campaign versus I want to send a text message because this is a very laser sharp campaign.
Oh, and so great I'm a big believer in flash sales, today only, limited times. I'm big on that. I think people do operate on a sense of urgency because we forget about things we wanted to do yesterday. So great for putting out little flash sales or.
Yeah, flash sales. Or the last thing is, knowing that you have your online booking, because I'm coming back to the online booking, but your online booking is actually, you have a button on both your Facebook and your Instagram. So people are looking at your pictures, the button is there. So they're inspired by the work that you just done. And they go like, oh, I love this blonde with curls. I want to have this. Or I like this new pumpkin color. I've
Yeah.
seen tons of pumpkin hair
Yeah.
color this season.
Yeah.
So I love that color. I'd like to have that. And this is great. So click, I'm booking for my appointment with whoever it is that just did those hair. So.
Well, it's all about that efficiency, isn't it? Just being able to, I want this, here it is. The consumer wants what they want when they want it. Listen, I really enjoyed talking to you, and I could just like talk about this kind of stuff all day, because I really think that marketing, we need to be digitally collecting, and it's just something our industry's not been comfortable with doing. So anybody who'd like to get a hold of Alain, definitely he's giving you his information. Contact me and get the demo. The demo is super cool, and it'll clear up a lot of questions for you. So thanks, man. I'm going to talk
Thank
to
you very much.
You have a good day.
You too. Thanks.
Okay, bye now.